so mesmerized by the stories that you have shared from people who have worked with you. And one of the first things that popped into my mind, like when I think of people getting up in the morning, looking in their closets, thinking what to wear. The next question is, what's for dinner? Right. And when we're looking in our wardrobes, it's like sometimes I think of how jam-packed it could be.
Mhm.
Or it could be like some people have it pared down to that capsule wardrobe where it's easy to grab things and they've gotten away from decision fatigue. And one of the blogs that you have on your website is about being picky. And when
Yeah.
we think about picky eaters, but there's also people who are picky when it comes to their wardrobe. So, and you said that that was normal. And I thought, oh, let's dig in here a little bit before we dive into some of the other questions. But it was like interesting to think that being picky is normal. And I thought, okay, let's let Nicole expand on that.
Well, being called picky is usually has a negative connotation, right? So I do normalize it in my world as a personal stylist, and the reason that I do that is because everyone, really needs to understand that their style is personal, and by being not being picky, you're essentially just deciding what you like and don't like. And when you have confidence in knowing what works and doesn't work for you and what you love, it enables you to build a wardrobe that works really well, that is cohesive, that fits you, that you love to wear. So, a great example of that would be someone who thinks that their problem is that they're too picky and that's why they can't find anything to wear. It's not actually that they're too picky, it's that they don't actually know what they want. If they knew what they wanted, they wouldn't be picky, they would just be selective. They would just be discerning. They would have standards. Suddenly the story would change. So I encourage people that if they feel like their problem is that they're just too picky, they just need to understand and figure out what they want. And that is something that I help my clients with when we're in the first stage of their style transformation. We enter into discovery, and discovery is about getting really clear on who it is that you want to look like, what has held you back, and what can we do to make sure that that perfect vision of yourself lives on the other side.
I think that's one of the most powerful things is to really get clear in what it is you want, who it is you want to be, and as you said, and how is it that you want to show up in the world. So that triggers my curiosity of how did you know that you wanted to get into personal styling and helping women and men build confidence to show up as that person? What happened in you that helped you step into this kind of role?
When I was a post grad in my 20s, I found myself bumbling around, not really sure what I wanted to do, but I always knew I wanted to help people. And I always had this creative edge to myself. And one day, a friend of mine got this new job and she needed to go shopping for some work clothes. So she said to me, "Hey, you want to go with me? You always like look nice. Like, let's go." But I didn't really know anything about fashion. I didn't know anything about dressing people, and I had never shopped for anybody except for presents. And but it was like breathing. It was like air. It was like I'd never did anything before in my life because I was meant to do this. And it was so easy. It was like every artistic element that lived inside of me came out when I did this work. And what was amazing actually was not my experience. It was watching the way that it changed the way this person saw themselves. They suddenly were opened up to all this realm of possibility in terms of what they could wear and how it could fit them and how fun shopping could be. And it was after that that I knew that what's this job I want to do, be a personal shopper. And, it was interesting because growing up in a small town without access to fashion, I was like, reading magazines and watching TV shows and appreciating the way that people looked. But I myself really say that I didn't become the stylish, sophisticated person that I am today until I started dressing everyone else. It was almost like as everyone else was able to you know, overcome their insecurities, or they were able to dress this new person, I then was able to take more risk with myself. That really enabled me to really learn to love my own body. And working and living in New York City, we're surrounded by these incredible women that are so smart, successful, beautiful, ambitious, dynamic women. And it inspired me to rise up. It really did. And it taught me also how to see and enhance the beauty within me. And in turn, I did that for my clients and continue to today.
Empowering, so fulfilling, soul filling. In fact that, you know, seeing these people transform in front of you. Because I know myself when you know, when you raise your standards, I have a post today, it's all about, you know, when you raise your standards of what you expect of yourself, that you show up differently. I remember years ago, I kind of stalked, I guess, but I was watching this Instagram photographer, and he's in Canada, and I reached out to him because I was watching him, you know, do all this photography of all these models, these beautiful women, and I'm like, do you take pictures of normal people? You know? And he's like, yes, Deb, I take pictures of normal people all the time. Not all of them are professional models. Most of them aren't, you know. And then I figured, you know, I'm just going to jump in and I'm going to hire him. And that experience was transformative. And that 4 hours of time can change your life. And here's the thing for everyone listening, and this is what I when I was going through all your information, Nicole, is you help people shift their perspective of who they are and how they want to show up in the world.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always say that, I'm like an artist who sees the sculpture in the stone. And
Mhm.
once I carve you out, you see it too, and you can't unsee it.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Um,
no turning back.
yeah, and I'm just a conduit to their ability to see it. I use my tools, my expertise, my knowledge of, color and cut and combination and line and designers and the retail experience, and it's just an expertise that I'm able to leverage so that way this person can see exactly what I see, and solve and overcome the challenges of not being able to find things that fit, feeling overwhelmed and anxious when they shop, you know um, not understanding what shoe or color combination to wear, the there's so much time and energy lost with buying things, returning them, money that's lost, and then you add in like social pressure, trends, and maybe like work expectations. And also, if you're a leader, you have to present yourself in a way that is in alignment with your leadership role. And in particular for women, the pressure is so profound in that, as well as you age, life transitions, body transformations, babies. Like, I mean, there's just so many factors that make this difficult. And I'm just a tool to make people just like jump over them like little pebbles so we can just get to the other side where you have just fabulous outfits.
Yeah. And they don't have to wear all black to feel like they're slim, or that they're creating a silhouette of some kind to really have style.
Yeah, you don't have to feel limited by what it has been easy and good enough. I always say that, like, the concept of dressing for success, right? One of the reasons that people don't feel as confident or empowered or a dynamic presence in their clothing is because they wear good enough. They don't stand out because it's clear that they're uncomfortable in what they're wearing. And when you are successful, it's really helpful to look the part, and in that is the way that you dress.
I think that's when people work with you, they feel like they're personality that was hidden actually can come through, and they're more authentic and they get to be themselves more so.
Yeah, with effortlessness. They have
Yeah.
permission now. And I mean, imagine what you can do next, right? Like when you feel uninhibited by who you are. I
Mhm.
mean, some of the greatest and most fun stories I have are from clients are those that went on to quit jobs, leave relationships, find relationships, feel inspired to get back on dating apps or to interview at another role because they have this newfound sense of confidence, but mostly like they have a new identity. They now see themselves as a stylish person. They see themselves as a cool mom. They see themselves in this new way. And well, this stylish person, this sophisticated CEO can certainly take new risks, hire that team member, call that partner, you know, versus, someone who is playing more small. So it's a wonderful like brain hack.
And I think that's because we talk about mindset a lot on the show. And one of the things you just hit the nail on the head is about the identity that people carry with themselves of who they believe they are. And
Mhm.
in order to change the results that they're getting or the outcomes that they want, it's all begins with the way they think in that perspective of how they identify with who they are as an individual and what they want. So, that's such a powerful place to grow from